Hi, welcome to Truth with Tal and Isaac. I'm Tal.
I'm Isaac.
Episode number 92 coming at you tonight. The GOAT, Tom Brady, he's retiring, finally.
Again, and finally.
Again and finally. We're going to review our championship weekend, and we're going to do a cereal draft, breakfast cereal draft.
Our championship weekend, meaning the NFL championship weekend that all the fans experienced. We didn't have a separate one, right? Just so that's clear?
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Off the tops, go ahead.
Funny controversy about Jared Jackson, and like the internet found out that the people keeping score in Memphis were adding points, adding rebounds, adding blocks.
Not points, I don't think. I think
You're
blocks.
right, not points.
Block steals, mainly.
And it seems as though the internet rumor actually had some truth to it.
Had some truth. Basically, Jaren Jackson Jr., a fella who we talked about. I'm a big Jaren Jackson Jr. fan. I overpaid
Great defensive
for him.
player. Yep.
Great. He's awesome. His only issue is he plays 27 minutes a game because he just gets in foul trouble. He's the Block Panther. That is what Twitter has named him. That is his nickname.
Such a great nickname.
The Block Panther. If you just watch a Memphis Grizzlies game, I understand that they're not high in the rotation for a lot of basketball fans. Watch them for 5 minutes. Watch Ja jump, off of the court, and then watch Jaren Jackson Jr. play defense and guard 5 guys at once is awesome. So the Reddit thing, a lot of it has been kind of semi-debunked, but a lot of it's legit. He's probably still my Defensive Player of the Year pick. I don't need to see the difference between 4 blocks a game and 3.5 blocks a game. Like, I don't care.
He's a great defensive player. I don't care. I'm assuming they were giving him credit for blocks that he affected the shot but didn't necessarily touch the shot.
Kind of, yeah. It's him or Claxton for me personally, Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, you're a big Claxton fan too.
But there's a lot of guys, OG, who we'll probably talk about next week when he gets traded. There's a lot of other defensive guys. Draymond Green has been great defensively this year, like always. But yeah, Jaren Jackson Jr. is still my guy.
Last year seemed to be the year where there was a lot of little guys like Marcus Smart that got a lot of love. Then people realized, wow, they actually don't have significant impact. Let's go with people that impact multiple players on the court at the same time.
With all due respect, the Marcus Smart DPOY is extremely fraudulent. I think, and people are like, oh, you're a Celtics bias. I hate the Celtics, yeah. But Rob Williams totally could have got it last year if he stayed a little healthier.
And when Smart was off the court, Boston was just as good a defensive team. When Jared Jackson is off the court, there's a big drop.
We have to move on, but really quickly, Ime Udoka, people just have not talked about him since the Brooklyn thing. Just putting that name out there because that's still a thing in the NBA. That's just a question mark there.
Oh my gosh. Could he be the Pistons coach?
I've thought about it and I've had conversations about that, but we're not going to talk. No, we're not going to talk.
That's a separate issue.
Yeah.
Okay, Chocolate Bar Draft, we got some good feedback. Thank you, Ken Stewart. I like your feedback on that one. I totally won that draft. All-Star announcements just went out. I just don't like the process. It isn't good with you got to have these fake players. Like Joel Embiid is one of the top 2 or 3 players in the NBA, and he's not a starter for some silly reason. They just named the reserves. We're not going to go into it. We just don't really like it, right? It's just part of the NBA that we don't like very much.
I don't care. Like All-Star Weekend and stuff, like maybe I'll watch a little bit of it. I'm not going to watch a ton. I don't really care.
3-point contest is the most exciting part of the All-Star.
Like Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson, who's going to be the All-Star reserve? I like Brunson and I kind of like Randle. I don't really care. It doesn't change anything, with all due respect. In 10 years, when we look at legacy, it matters a little bit, but we're not there yet. So give me 10 years.
Cool. So the Sean Payton trade, and it's interesting. It hasn't happened a lot in the NFL where they've traded for coaches, but they gave away a first and a second. They got back Payton and a third. So they now have a lot of draft capital lined up in Russell Wilson and Sean Payton. Russell hasn't won the Super Bowl in about 8 years, and Payton hasn't won the Super Bowl in about 10 years. So I don't know how I feel about it. Denver had a good squad last year. They were just poop. What's your quick take? Is that a win for Denver?
My quick take is if you're Denver, you have to do this. You've already invested in Russell Wilson. What are you going to do? Hire some young defensive guy? Go after D'Amico Ryans, who got hired by Houston, 6-year contract. I think he's the man. I really like D'Amico Ryans. Mm-hmm. But the Broncos had no other choice. What's their choice here? You're just like, they have to go after Sean Payton. So from that sense, I understand it. But they're going to be third in the division? The Chargers are going to be better. The Chiefs are going to be better. And if the Raiders get Aaron Rodgers, which is in the realm of possibility, we're not going to talk about it yet, then they're going to be fourth. So the Broncos, their ceiling is very low, unfortunately.
They'll improve a lot to be 500. One game below 500.
Well, they won 5 games last year. They're 5-12.
I think so.
I need to see more from them. I just can't imagine Russell Wilson's going to be as bad as he was.
Good take. Good take. What do you have for off the top?
Thanks for listening to the fans.
Thanks,
Thank
fans.
you to the fans.
Thanks, fans.
Kung Fu Panda.
Okay, so every now and then we just we'll pull a movie up and then, after dinner we'll just put it on for a little bit. And I kind of made fun of Kung Fu Panda a few days ago.
Okay, here's the origin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, a couple buddies were over watching football with us. And during commercials, I wanted to throw on a movie because there was no other games at the time. Usually we can put on other football. This was the only game at the time. So we finished Rambo, which is really good. You should see Rambo.
Rambo's good.
And I wanted to put on... What did I want to put on? I wanted to put on a cartoon movie that didn't have fighting, and I got made fun of. And you said it had to have fighting. So I said, what about Kung Fu Panda? And my buddies agreed that it is eligible. So we watched some Kung Fu Panda.
And then I'm like, I don't like cartoon stuff. And then I realized, wait a sec. And you guys kind of said it's good. And then I remembered it being good. And we watched a fair amount of it. And it's good. It's just entertaining.
I'd watched since I was, of age to watch Kung Fu Panda. It's really good. It's on Netflix. Like, if you've got young kids... Oh, no. I think I wanted to put on Shrek. I wanted to put on Shrek, and you said, what are you, 8? And then
I like Shrek. But there's no fighting in it, other than the one little scene.
When he throws all the guys.
Yeah, which is actually a pretty good scene.
So just, if you have young children, or perhaps older children, that like cartoon movies... what we're talking about? What movie?
Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu Panda. Also Puss in Boots. I already praised that, but that's enough cartoon movie love I've given for the past 2 episodes.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Last off the top. By the time this goes out, we're gonna miss at least one NBA trade. So thoughts on the NBA trade that happened while this is in the process of being worked on.
The Rui trade?
No, because by the time this goes up, this is going to go up on Saturday or Sunday or whatever.
Oh, you mean I'm going to predict what trade happens?
No, you're just going to say your thoughts on it. Don't say the trade, just on your thoughts on the trade that happened.
I think because there's so many teams that are interested in trading up and not a whole lot of teams that are in tank mode. The team that just bought, overbought.
I agree. They oversold.
They oversold.
I just don't know
for like a decent player, but not great.
No, I hope this isn't like a massive trade that comes out because that would be a little funny. But I agree. They oversold. What's their best case scenario? Second round win, maybe, but they're probably losing in the second round.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. So instead of being the 8th seed, now you're the 6th seed.
Yeah.
Ooh, good job.
Yeah, and I like Caruso. Okay, just a little prediction there. Brady retires. Go ahead.
So Brady's the GOAT. And there's all sorts of stats, and we'll talk about the stats in just a minute, but he really had an amazing legacy. He probably had 3 different Hall of Fame careers. You can break his career up into 3 different times, and they're great. It would have been nice to see him with a healthy offensive line and guys that caught this year, because I would have liked him to go out on a higher note. That's the only thing that I'm disappointed at. He still played well, but I would have liked him to go out on a higher note this year.
Yeah, I'll go on here. Look, I don't really care. I kind of accepted it last year.
This is kind of tiring.
Yeah, I love Brady. I'm a huge Brady guy, but I'm not super upset. I think he still has a lot of good football left with him, right? Like if he went to San Francisco, I think they win the championship. Super Bowl. Yeah, I really do believe if he's a Niner next year, they win the Soupy. I'm pretty confident in that. I think if he goes to Miami, I think they contend and they're definitely a playoff team. But it's his time. Did you watch the video that he posted?
I did.
It was nice. I liked it. It was like on the beach.
And I like it. They didn't make it super big like LeBron and the announcement and that kind of stuff or the decision. It was just him, probably one buddy or something that helped him record it, or he might have been by himself.
Yeah, he's gonna go. I don't know. He might go like a little Obi-Wan Kenobi Force Ghost on us. I'm not sure how, but I think he might. I'm just putting that out. That's gonna be my take there. Okay, does it make sense?
No, I'm going to have to think about that one a little bit. He's going to have some influence on like a young quarterback and guide them in the ways of the Force.
I don't know, but he's going to be like a Force ghost, I think. That's all I've got. I'll just leave it there. Okay. The thing is, like, if he went to a team, he is at this point, he is system dependent, kind of, yes, right? Like we saw it this year. With a crappy line and crappy receivers and the worst coach in football, you're going to lose a lot of games.
Joe Burrow did fine with a crappy offensive line. Tom Brady could not do fine with a crappy offensive line.
Correct. Yeah, so obviously, like I say, he has a couple good years left for sure. That is with the right coach, with some weapons, with a healthy O-line. It's okay. Good for you, Tom. But what else do you
I've got a couple of Brady takes.
Okay.
People talked about the fact that Brady's from Michigan and he was awesome. When Brady was at Michigan, they signed a hotshot named Drew Henson, who was from a suburb of Detroit. So Michigan now had two quarterbacks. Tom Brady, who wasn't that heralded, but was pretty solid, and Drew Henson. And everybody with Henson, they got to play him all the time. But Brady didn't want to give up, the mantle. So what they did is actually for a year, Brady played a quarter, then Henson played a quarter. Then they alternated. Super interesting. I was able to see Brady a couple times in college. It's good. I work with a dude named Zach, and he came to me yesterday. He was all disappointed. He's like, I think Zach is 23. He said, I've never been around for the NFL and not had Tom Brady to watch. And he was sad about it. And that's kind of neat.
Yeah, well, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, I wrote down, I have two Brady memories.
28-3.
28-3. And that improbable win during the COVID year with Tampa in his first year as a Buccaneer. That's what that's my Brady. That's the guy I remember. Obviously, I remember the comeback. But, like, going on that Buccaneer team, and no one thought they were going to beat the Chiefs. I think they're like a touchdown underdog, which feels like a lot for a Super Bowl.
Sure.
And they won. And that's kind of the Brady I know.
That's awesome. Yep.
And we talk about end of an era, right? No Breeze, no Mannings, no Big Ben, no Brady now. Rodgers hopefully on his way out soon. They're all going. Phillip Rivers, my guy, left too.
Listen, I've got about 20 stats. I'm just going to list a couple.
This is awesome.
So he has 7 Super Bowls. That's more than any franchise in the history of the NFL. That's an awesome stat. 6 Pittsburgh Steelers and New England Patriots. Postseason, he leads in so many different categories. I'm not even going to list them all other than to say he rocked. Now, what I want to do is I just want to have a brief discussion. We can agree that Tom Brady is the GOAT in football.
Yes.
Jerry Rice, good.
Lawrence Taylor, say his
Lawrence
name.
Taylor, I love Lawrence Taylor. Jim Brown, those guys were all awesome. Joe Montana, not the linebacker, the quarterback. They were all good. They all stepped below Brady.
Yes.
Okay, so here's my question for you. Michael Jordan, Tom Brady.
This is so dumb.
No, it's good crossover.
It's incredibly stupid.
Who's a bigger GOAT?
Bigger GOAT? That doesn't even... I don't know, man. What do you think? Like, I think this is a really silly topic and one that I don't understand what the end
Wayne
game
Gretzky?
is. Okay.
Tom Brady.
I don't know. What do you think?
Wayne Gretzky.
Okay. Why?
Just because he was so much more dominant than everybody else. Brady, he was awesome, but he was never that much more dominant than anybody else. Part of what made Brady great is his longevity, his ability to win, but he also wasn't head and shoulders above everybody for year after year after year. So I'm picking great. Gretzky is the only guy that I have that is clearly a better GOAT than Brady.
Okay, Brady.
Michael Jordan.
Okay, Brady Jordan. What do you have there? Like, I have no idea. Like, this is,
I've got Jordan by a hair.
the reason why I have no idea is because I don't know how to measure this.
Oh, there's no metrics. It's just gut.
Okay, well, that's respectfully really dumb, I think. Like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Tom Brady? Did you write that one down?
Actually, I did.
Yeah, you did.
Did you read that?
No, I don't. I try not to read your
I like
notes.
Kareem.
Well, yeah, Kareem's awesome.
Brady over Kareem, although it's debatable.
Okay, yeah, that's what a great. I'd like to see some analytics there, just some sort of quantitative value.
Okay, who do we know that's a huge stats geek that they can run some comparative numbers?
A couple of my profs are pretty like data analyst
Cool.
guys.
Put that stuff into the system.
A couple of my buddies are when they do good on data, we call them data analysts.
Data analysts. We need a couple of those guys to
We'll
run
talk
these
to them.
stats.
Okay, I have no more Brady stuff. Do you? I'm sure you do.
I do, but we're good on that. We've covered it.
Okay, good.
Bye, Tom. I'm not sure. Does he listen?
I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so.
I'm sure he's got like an intern or something that listens.
He probably does.
He's gonna rock in Fox.
He'll be awesome.
Also, it took me down a rabbit hole this morning when I was looking up Tom Brady. Two things. Thing number one is I looked up Tom Brady and went to news just because I wanted to read some articles about this. The amount of articles about non-football Brady stuff, awful. I hated it. Just like
Giselle's.
I don't care about the divorce. I don't care about his girlfriend. I wanted to read football stuff, and all this stuff was non-football, and that upset me. Thing number two is his cameo in Ted 2. Not sure the last time anyone watched that. Watch his cameo in Ted 2. I love the Ted movies. This is Mark Wahlberg with the funny guy.
I haven't seen Ted 2.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, okay. They're really, really funny. Brady has a cameo in it, and he is just awesome.
Okay.
I
like athletes when they have good cameos.
Watch Brady's cameo from Ted 2.
Okay, I'm not going to write that down because I'm going to remember it.
Okay, thanks, bro. Okay, championship weekend. Go ahead. First, talk about this and segue to championship.
So I was texting back and forth with Ken Stewart, and he was just talking to his son Mitchell, who's up in Toronto. They were excited about the game, especially the last game. So Mitchell said to Ken, I can't wait to hear the podcast this week to see what they have to say about the games. So Thanks, Mitchell. Thanks, Ken.
Which is maybe the coolest thing that we
That's
can hear.
cool.
It's hilarious because it's like there's a lot of other smart guys. Sorry, there's a lot of smart guys. We're not very smart.
We're entertaining.
As Tal just dropped his pen.
Yeah,
And no one touched. He just dropped it.
Just dropped it.
That's like the coolest thing we can hear. So thank you. Thanks for
Mitch.
listening. Great work, everybody.
Okay, a couple of things. Well, first of all, stop whining about the refs. Like, the refs made some poor decisions. They don't care who wins. They're not as good. And because camera coverage is so good now, you see some more of the mistakes. Every now and then you'll see internet stuff where, there's just terrible, terrible calls. And in slow motion, instant replay, you're able to realize, wow, that's a bad call. Guess what? The Dallas Cowboys still won a bunch of Super Bowls, and Pittsburgh still won a bunch of Super Bowls. Get over it. Don't be in a position where a bad call is going to cost you the game.
Yeah, until 2 years when the Lions get hosed in the playoffs by
That's a whole separate deal. Everybody, The refs hate the Lions.
Okay, Detroit versus everybody.
Yeah.
Detroit versus the refs.
That's a separate conversation.
Okay, cool. Just so we're on the same page.
Yeah. So San Fran Philly was not the good game. Do you want to just kind of chat about that one first?
Yeah, sure. Do you have any notes on the game, Tal?
I do have some notes on the game.
Okay, go ahead.
So the young fella next to me has been a big Purdy guy for a long time.
Before it was cool.
Before it was cool. Before it was cool.
Like in high school.
He poor guy, couldn't stay healthy. Now that we realize how injured he was, man, toughen it out because he couldn't grip the ball. He couldn't throw the ball. But the thing is, in football now, if you hurt your shoulder or your arm, you can still come back out. But Johnson, the backup quarterback, had a concussion, so he could not come out. And as much as we wanted to see Juszczyk and McCaffrey be there, they can't do it, right? The NFL is just too complicated and it's too detailed. And we think they can. They can't. Hurts looked good enough. They played conservatively. They played smart enough to win. Both defenses looked really good. I feel bad for the 49ers because I think they have the best roster in football, right? So deep, skill position, offensive line, good guys on defense. Just a couple of takes. Trent Williams and Penei Sewell, I think can form an offensive line themselves and also be the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions.
Just like Penei, you get the right side, Trent gets the left side
Pretty
in
much.
terms of blocking.
Maybe you get a center in there.
Yeah, so we can talk about a little bit back to the game here. The system quarterback thing, like the San Francisco 49ers, it can only go so far. By that,
you still need to have a quarterback.
By that, I mean, like, I can go to the third string. Maybe you can sell me on the fourth string. But when, like, Christian McCaffrey is putting on the quarterback's helmet and Kyle Juszczyk is next to him looking at plays, that's kind of when you lose me. That's at the point where it's like, okay, Kyle Shanahan, I can't go with you this far. I really liked Philly, -2, going into the game. I think it just, like, midweek last week, I just texted Tal and we're like, Philly's covering, Philly's going to win. I was sold on them. I really like the roster. Obviously, we had a 31-7 blowout, mainly because of the quarterback. But when the backup quarterback hit his head, that's when it was like, this was, respectfully to him, this was the most entertaining part of the game. When it was just like, ooh, are we going to see McCaffrey? That was when I was most intrigued, other than the first drive, when it just looked like, oh yeah, Philly looks really good. And that crowd is bumping. Philly home court, very fun fans.
Yes, they're crazy.
Very fun, very ruthless. I don't know if you saw how they treated one of the Bosa punk, the thug Bosa.
I saw a couple of headlines. I didn't really pay attention to it.
Before the game, like going up, Bosa, just like chirping him, like, you suck, man. Showing him Trevor Lawrence
pictures. So he's the guy who plays on Pittsburgh.
No, that's the Chargers guy. You're thinking of a Watt.
Oh, okay.
The Chargers guy who lost, who got that really bad penalty.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That's the punk Bosa.
Okay.
The good one is on San Francisco.
Yes.
Ohio State, piece of garbage. Both of them, I think. The third QB designation. I don't know if you have any notes on that or if you're educated.
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Until 2011, there was a rule where you could have a third quarterback dress. It was called your emergency quarterback. You could only use him if your first two quarterbacks were injured, and that was to avoid a punter playing or a running back playing quarterback.
Or fullback.
Yeah. So what they did is they just changed the rule and moved it from 52 to 53. And teams decided, okay, I need an 8th cornerback and an 8th defensive lineman, and they stopped dressing quarterbacks. I think they need to go back to that rule again. Boom, you can dress a third-string quarterback. He doesn't count against your roster, and you can't put a linebacker and say, oh, no, he's my third-string quarterback.
Fred Warner could totally be quarterback, though. Just putting that out there. You could totally run the Wildcat with Fred Warner.
I would not want to tackle him.
No, the thing is, this is totally new to me because in 2011 I wasn't up to date on rule changes.
Did you know that I had that knowledge, or did you just guess?
No, because I wrote it down, and
Okay.
It's like younger people probably
Don't
don't
have
know
that
about it.
Nope.
So I knew nothing until I heard the Niners complaining about
It
it.
was 12 years ago, and it probably wasn't even talked much about 12 years ago because it wasn't relevant very much.
And this podcast wasn't around 12 years ago.
Correct.
So I don't know why this was taken away. Like, I would like to see the tweets from 2011 or 2013 or whenever this was taken away, and just what did media say about this when this was
I don't
removed?
know.
Because it doesn't make any sense to me why this was an actual rule that got removed. If it didn't exist, I would understand that more. You know what I mean? So I'd like to see that come back, because what we had, well, we made some jokes. The Christian McCaffrey thing was fun, but Kung Fu Panda was better at times, right?
Yeah.
And when Kung Fu Panda,
I watched some Kung Fu Panda.
in the second half, it was a duel between Kung Fu Panda, a little bit of Rambo, and which 49ers quarterback will be playing, which isn't great. So bring that rule back, NFL. We got to talk Christian McCaffrey. He was unbelievable. He had 106 yards on 19 touches. Their only touchdown where he just kept running. It was awesome.
Awesome.
The rest of the Niners had 58 yards total. It was just Christian McCaffrey. Debo got nothing going.
Wow.
Ayuk wasn't there. They couldn't really get the ball to Kittle. And whenever they got the ball to Debo, it just seemed that there were 7 guys in the backfield.
Yep. And they tried to do reverses. They tried to get him in space. Couldn't do it. Philly's defense goes fast. It was Deo who said, watch Reddick, before the game. Reddick was maybe the best player on the field.
He was awesome. Yeah, he had a really good game. Definitely betting him to get a sack in the Super Bowl. We'll talk about that later. I got nothing else on Eagles-Niners, though, other than even though it was a blowout, it's still good football, because I like football.
I've got some more takes, but we're going to save that to our Super Bowl preview next week.
Wow, what a great tease. Okay,
Yeah, good teaser.
Chiefs-Bengals.
Wow, that was an exciting game.
Yeah, I knew that wow was coming.
Holy smokes. 2 great teams, 2 great quarterbacks. Defenses played awesome. I think the number 1 and the number 2 quarterback in the league.
Okay.
I know you're like Herbo, what do you call him?
Well, there's Herbo, and
Yeah.
then there's the Josh Allen guy. Who,
Yep.
Actually, I should address this. I received some slack from some Bills fans about my criticism of Josh Allen, because I said he is not on Fraud Watch, or he's not even a fraud. I just said we have to have a conversation if he's on Fraud Watch. That's all I said. I got some slack.
Not Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Oh, Uncle Phil's a huge supporter of Team Isaac.
My buddy Nate, who looks like Josh Allen, who we all call Josh because he looks like Josh Allen, he did not like what I had to say about him. I still think he's the second best quarterback in football. I just said I'd like to see him win.
I'm moving Burrow ahead of Josh Allen.
I'm not going to get there with you yet, but
we're talking great quarterbacks.
Yeah. So back to the Chiefs here. I just want to talk about. So I missed the game. So I missed like the second half. So I had to catch up. I had basketball. I couldn't really miss it. So like on the way, we're watching football. We're getting updated.
If you didn't go to basketball, was your team going to win? Would your team have won? Because you said it wasn't.
Oh, it's a bad game. Yeah, they would have been fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So we there was some regret.
Well, you have the number 1 free agent.
Yes, we do. But we don't. No one cares about my basketball league.
And who cares?
No one cares. I'm
Okay.
gonna keep talking about football because
Keep going.
that's why the stewards are listening.
Keep going.
I caught up on the second half the next day during class, respectfully. Isaiah Pacheco, I love that guy. He didn't have a huge game. I just love watching him run. He was the 251st pick in a 262-man draft this year.
Awesome.
Just crazy to me.
So good.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He was the 30th pick out of 252 in the 2020 draft. I just have some running. I did a little deep dive because I'm like, if the Chiefs got a real running back in the back end of that first round, what could they have? Jonathan Taylor was that draft class. DeAndre Swift was that draft class. J.K. Dobbins, A.J. Dillon, James Robinson, Cam Akers. Like, they could have had so many guys.
And these are now 3rd round, 4th round guys.
Yeah, James Robinson was super late. Dillon was a little later.
Robinson might have been a 5th round guy.
Yeah, like it's just kind of crazy how it's like, wow, Jonathan Taylor could be a chief. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's awesome.
The refs were bad. Like you said, the refs were bad. There was a lot of missed calls. There was a lot of missed calls both ways, actually. But the way it played out at the end was like, okay, out of the last 3 bad calls, they were probably all against Cincy, right?
Yes.
Which is unfortunate. The Chiefs need to get healthy. We'll talk about that with the Super Bowl. They lost all their receivers. They had some undrafted free agent from 2017, Marcus Kemp, playing, who had like 4 career catches. Because I catch up on tape.
Pretty much doubled it.
I was catching up on tape the next day, and it was like, wait, who are these guys? I've never seen these guys.
Bill Simmons was chatting about him. Like, who's that guy?
So Chiefs got to get healthy if they have a shot against Philly. The Bengals window is still open, but Burrow is about to become the highest paid player maybe in football history, because that's just kind of the way things are going.
Timing, and he'll be the highest paid football player for about a year, and then it'll be somebody else's turn.
Yeah, it's tough to say with the guaranteed money because the Deshaun Watson thing is just hilarious and that has aged horribly. I think the Bengals, you say the Bengals are healthy. I think they can beat the Chiefs. I'll say the same thing about the Bills. I think if the Bills had Von Miller and were fully healthy, I think they can win too.
They lost, what's the safety? Carlos Hyde? They lost Micah Hyde.
Yeah.
They lost a cornerback. They're in trouble.
That's the way it played out. Chris Jones had a great game. He had 10 pressures. He was 5 hits, 2 sacks.
He was a beast.
He was awesome. I'm looking forward to see him in the Super Bowl against a really good Philly O-line. That'll be fun. But that's all I got there.
Just a couple quick takes. Yeah. The Burrow to Chase play on 4th down. Wow, that showed some stones. Great pass, great catch, great call. Very impressive there. Mahomes, we need to give him some credit because he was and still injured. I don't love I've never loved the 2 weeks between championship weekend and Super Bowl, but that's okay.
Ooh,
but in this case,
why?
Because we've got all this momentum and we're super excited. But now football is so intense that I would rather have the 2 weeks to give more guys the opportunity to get healthy.
I'm fine with the 2 weeks. I've always been fine with it. That's interesting. If the Pro Bowl was watchable, maybe I'd be more fine with it. I just don't watch football. On the Pro Bowl day, I'm just going to be doing school and doing other stuff. I'm not going to be watching the Pro Bowl games or whatever it's called. Yep. Even though Penei Sewell and Jared Goff and Tyler Huntley are there. Whatever.
The Tyler Huntley, somebody needs to explain that to me.
I won't. It's there's a lot of injuries and guys opting out. So basically, the way it worked out was
Russell Wilson had a terrible year. You put Russell Wilson ahead of Tyler Huntley.
Tyler Huntley, dude. I would vote Tyler Huntley over Russell Wilson. Do you have any more notes on Chiefs Bengals before we keep it moving?
No, it was a great game. Thank you, football. Thank you, NFL, for giving us that game. That was a great memory.
Great memory. Okay.
True.
Cereal draft. You can set it up now.
Okay, so cereal draft. Breakfast is absolutely an underrated meal. You can have breakfast for breakfast. You can have breakfast for lunch, for dinner, and for late night snack. Now, cereal, super easy. Again, most of the time you're just having it with milk. Sometimes you're having a little bag and a snack.
In a bag?
Well, sometimes travel snacks.
Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Good stuff like that. I'm doing some traveling. And good little snacks. Take some time. It's fun. Works on your fine motor skills.
Yep.
All very
Enough
good stuff.
cereal eating talk.
Enough cereal eating talk. So, chocolate bar draft we think went well. I think didn't do terribly well in it, but our fans were entertained.
Okay, well, it's stupid, respectfully.
So now we've got a cereal draft. A couple of ground rules we need to talk about. Mini wheats, that's all one.
Yeah.
Cheerios, that's multiples.
Sure.
That's fair.
Multiples. There's 2, but okay.
Yeah, multiples. There's 2 strong ones.
Feel free to draft whole wheat Cheerios. All yours.
Whole wheat
all
Cheerios.
Multi-grain.
Wide open.
All yours.
Yeah, he's going to be stuck in the EuroLeague in Lithuania for a while.
Good call.
Again, for those people that don't pay too much attention to us, we compare the cereals to kind of NBA players and try and come up with some comparisons just to make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, or so I've got a couple movie references.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to draft 9 cereals each.
So feel free to stop watching at this point.
Yeah, feel free to stop watching. If you don't like cereal, you don't have to watch. You don't have to listen anymore.
If you're a football fan, you can leave.
If you don't like cereal, what do you eat for a snack?
Well, okay. Yeah.
Oatmeal? All the time?
I talked to a lot of people at school today where it just got to the point where it was just hey, what are your favorite cereals? And I got a lot of input from a lot of different people today, so thank you.
I was busier than I wanted to be, so I only got a little bit of input from a couple people.
I was at school, right? So I was just came to the point where it's hey, University of Windsor student, what cereal should I have for my cereal draft? Okay, well, and it was good fun, very entertaining. So I got a lot of input from the extended University.
So you got lots
of
of sleepers.
Lots of sleepers.
If we needed to go into a 4th round, you'd be loaded.
I have one cereal that we're just going to mention and tell the story of, and then we can start the draft, okay?
Okay.
So I wrote down Superman cereal. So
yes.
So if you,
that was out for at least a couple weeks.
So a few months ago, Mom, fan of the show, not really actually, but Mom came home with some Superman cereal. There was no brand. It just had a Superman S on a Superman guy and some.
I guarantee you they did not pay DC a dime for the rights to produce that cereal.
And it was just
it was produced in the back of some guy's garage.
It was just some food in a box. She totally could have gone off the street and we had no idea. And it was awful. There
was zero flavor to it. Decent color, zero flavor.
And usually we're pretty quick with our cereals. This one,
Oh,
it took a while.
long time.
Like, you needed to water it down. Like,
Did we talk about the cereal mix, or is that not relevant?
Not relevant. Maybe you can talk about second and third options. A potential Drew Holiday, Chris Middleton might play in here.
Got it. Okay.
So the Superman cereal, hopefully that made sense to people. Even if it doesn't make sense, it shouldn't, because it was like some ground cereal that had the Superman guy on it. It was awful. It was an awful product. I just wanted to address that. So now we can start with the actual draft. We have a 9 cereal roster.
Okay. I think we're going to do rock, paper, scissors again.
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh!
Great.
The first pick here is significant, and Isaac was able to land that first pick. I think I know where he's going to go.
Yeah, so those listening, we did rock, paper, scissors. I won. First overall, I'll be taking mini wheats. You not agree with that?
Nope, I do not agree with that.
Okay, you can take Honey Nut Cheerios.
Honey Nut Cheerios, yes! You just picked Sam Bowie, and I got Michael Jordan.
Okay, so Honey Nut Cheerios.
So excited to Honey Nut Cheerios drop to me. Yes!
Okay, so Honey Nut Cheerios are the Godfather 2 of cereal. I argue mini wheats are the Shawshank Redemption. So I'm okay, which I think you got 2 great options here. I would be team mini wheats.
Listen, I give mini wheats some credit. They're going to fill a need. They're going to get lots of rebounds, a couple of blocks. But when you need somebody to score, you can just give them past the Honey Nut Cheerios and watch and say, nice job. They're going to have flu games and pizza games.
Okay.
They are absolutely the GOAT. Honey Nut Cheerios automatically makes my team better than yours.
Okay. Well,
I can pretty much pick 4 different types of shreddies, and I'd still take 2 out of 3 games.
Okay. So, yeah, mini wheats, like I said, I get all the flavors. I get the on sale mini wheats. I get the jumbo box, the family size mini wheats. Just an excellent pick, and I'm really happy with it.
Okay, good for you.
Now you can go and make your other pick.
So now I have 2 picks. So I've got Honey Nut Cheerios.
You have one more.
So I've got a score. I've got a little bit of sweetness. Now I need to go with a classic rebounder, score, a defensive guy, good close to the basket, kind of like a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'm going with Rice Krispies.
Okay.
It's a little high for Rice Krispies, but because Honey Nut Cheerios fell to me, I don't need to worry so much about scoring. Rice Krispies, think about how versatile they are and how easily they can be transformed into Rice Krispie squares.
You didn't even take the Christmas Rice Krispies, which are the best ones. The ones with the red and green guys.
They're pretty
And
good.
You didn't even pick them.
But they're not available all the time, right? I can't have somebody who's only available 3 months a year.
Okay, so I'm staring at two names here. Wait, I have 2 picks.
You have 2 picks.
Excellent.
Correct.
Okay, Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, I knew you were going to take that.
Shout out Coach Rob. I love Frosted Flakes. They're
Yeah.
excellent. And then Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Oh, man, I didn't think you were going to take
Okay.
both of those. That's good drafting.
No, I'm not a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy at all.
No, but it's super popular.
I talked to about 50 university students today about cereal, and probably 40 of them, the first cereal they said was Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah, lots of
So
people.
worst case, this is just trade asset, and I can flip it for 3 future first-round picks. That's what I may do. But
Yep.
this is an incredible asset to have 4th overall. So I'm very happy with my pick there.
Good. Yeah, excellent pick. So I've got some very good talent with my 2 guys. I've got a proven scorer, Hall of Famer in Honey Nut Cheerios. I got Rice Krispies. Now I need a captain. I need somebody who brings the team together, a good locker room guy. We got to go with Captain Crunch here.
Oh, that's a good pick.
Yeah, Captain Crunch is a solid pick. The nice thing is I have another pick, so I can go with a classic here, right? Captain Crunch, although it's a classic, it's a little sweet.
You're just saying
I need a little
words.
more grit. I need a little more grit. So I've got a couple of choices right here. Whew, this is super hard. I think I'm going to go with wily old veteran Raisin Bran.
That's an okay pick.
Yeah.
I think it's a little early for Raisin Bran. They're
They're a little past their prime, but they still got some good years left.
Yeah, I don't love it there. But that's fine. So I have two cereals I can pick right now.
You got 2 more right now.
Okay, so let me just take Cocoa Pebbles. Let me take Cocoa Pebbles. They've been a stay in our house for a while now. They're excellent. I really like
Cocoa
Pebbles.
Puffs or Cocoa Pebbles?
Pebbles.
Okay.
The Flintstones.
Got
They're
it.
great. They're
All right.
great. Then I've got 2 names here. I'm gonna go with something that's a really good locker room guy, kind of like a Tim Duncan.
I think
very
I know. I
fundamental.
think I know what you're going to pick here.
Just right.
No.
Just right.
That's
Great
a good pick.
fundamentals.
Yeah, very solid, healthy. You're not going to get a lot of razzle dazzle out of Just Right, but he's a solid pick. But something dropped to me that I was very surprised that you gave it to me.
Okay, go ahead.
Special K with berries.
Dude, are you kidding me?
No, Special K with berries is so good. The fans love Special K with berries. It's a real good, solid cereal, and it's pretty healthy for you. So now I have the opportunity to go for some more scoring. I got lots of different options on the table for some sugar, some action here. I I'm going to go with Fruit Loops. Toucan Sam is just a really good all-around player. Good defensive guy, too. Lots of steals.
Okay, so let me just address the Special K thing. I heard one student say Special K. It was my buddy Vince, and he understood that it's a 7th rounder, potentially an undrafted free agent. He's like, this is my favorite, but you can get it really late. So feel free to have Special
Vince,
K.
I get it. Vince, good job, Vince.
Okay, so feel free to have...
Does Vince listen to the show?
He probably will now.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
We just got him. Reese's Puffs. Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, Reese's Puffs.
I thought for sure you were going to pick Reese's Puffs, and I didn't want to double up on Cocoa Pebbles and Reese's Puffs, but I will
Almost
take
the
them.
same player.
I'll take them at separate points here. I won't necessarily mix them. They'll probably be on different units, but I'm very happy to pick Reese's Puffs. So is that my 6th pick? Can you do the math?
1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's your 5.
7.
I've got Mini Wheats, Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
No, I have Cinnamon
Reese's.
Toast Crunch.
Oh, yeah, you've got some. No, your picks. Mini Wheats, Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cocoa Pebbles, and Reese's Puffs.
Didn't I pick just right as well? Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, so that's 7. No, 6. 6. That's 6. So now I get to pick again while you crunch the numbers
1,
here?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you get one more.
Excellent. Life. I know you're not a big life guy. I think life is excellent.
Life is soft. Life fits into the soft category. Has some skills. Looks great in the gym when there's nobody guarding him. But once he plays in a game, just gets soft. You put that milk on it, and within seconds, mush.
Okay, I really like
He
life.
fits into the mush category. I know you do.
And so does Coach Rob. So
Well, listen, I respect Coach Rob a lot. I do.
okay. I'm picking life. I am really happy with life this late in the draft.
Okay. Lots of still really good options on the table here. I'm going to go with the classic Cheerios to offset my Honey Nut Cheerios because the Honey Nut Cheerios is going to need a break.
Wait, you drafted Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios?
Yes.
I think that's dumb.
Think about the versatility of Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay.
Tactile for little kids. When you're teaching little boys how to pee, you put it in the toilet and the aim for the Cheerios. Like, I don't think you're going to waste the Honey Nut Cheerios on that because those are too valuable. But Cheerios, it's a good practice player. They can take some fouls. And then Lucky Charms.
So Lucky Charms are picking.
Lucky Charms.
That's a good.
Lucky Nut Charms and regular Cheerios for his versatility.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have doubled up Cheerios and Honey Nut Cheerios there.
I know, but
That doesn't make much sense.
I don't think you thought about the versatility.
You're just saying words. That doesn't even those. Okay, is Crave still on the board? Because Crave is awesome.
Crave is still on the board, and that's a good pick.
Crave should not have fell.
Crave, I don't know. I think there were some drug allegations. That must have been why Crave fell.
No, Crave
I
is
can't
awesome.
understand why Crave.
It's like Laramie
Crave-
Tunsil on the day of the draft when
Yes.
that picture of the bong came out.
That's it.
This is Crave. I think Crave's excellent. I don't know how it fell this much. I really like Crave.
I told you the drug allegations.
Okay, the fans also really like Crave. So I've got one more here, right? Is that correct? And then I'm done.
That's correct. Yep. There's so many good choices.
Okay, I'm gonna. Do I get the cereal box? Is that a
No, you can't pick the multi-box. The
no
Canadian box.
no, not that. Like the box that the cereal comes in. Is that part of the team as well? Like, because there's a certain cereal that I want to pick, but
Yes, the box comes with it.
so I'm gonna pick Wheaties here, and
You get Bruce Jenner before it was Caitlyn.
okay, yeah. Or I can get any of the other
Before they
great
were
people.
Caitlyn?
We're just gonna keep moving.
Keep moving.
So I'm gonna pick Wheaties here, and I'm
Wheaties,
very
that's
happy.
a pretty good pick.
Wheaties is a breakfast for champions.
Old school, very good pick. There's so many good choices on the table. Still, I think I have enough scoring. I think I just need another classic guy to match up your Wheaties. I need to bring somebody off the bench who I know can just be a solid player. I'm going with cornflakes.
Cornflakes?
Cornflakes.
Is that the Kellogg's one?
Yep, Kellogg's
Yeah.
cornflakes.
Okay.
Been around for a long time. They know the game. They're very coachable. In fact, cornflakes would probably be my player coach. We actually should have figured out how to pick. How do we pick a coach?
We don't. These are cereals, respectfully.
Oh, okay. We don't pick a coach.
So I get one more, and then my team is done?
No, we're done. We've each got 9.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so can we go through them slowly so the fans know and we can also know our teams?
Sure. Do you want to go through your lame team first, and then I'll go through my winning
Yeah,
team?
my team's actually really good, but Mini Wheats,
Good
Frosted Flakes,
Yep.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch,
Your first 3 are good, solid scores, no defense, but go ahead.
Cocoa Pebbles, Just Right, Reese's Puffs, Life, Crave, and Wheaties. That's a top 10 on its own. Like that's just like
Good pick. I mean, you got a couple of soft guys, and you got a couple of guys with no flavor, but okay.
you picked Cheerios
the versatility and listen,
and cornflakes.
If for here's where you're forgetting.
And Rice Krispies? Are you kidding?
Well, you need balance. Like, one of the things that we didn't talk
Special
about.
K? You have all the same players.
Special
That's
K with
so
berries.
dumb.
One of the things that we didn't talk enough about is Isaac and I we feel very strongly about cereal mixes. So you put 2 or 3 together in a bowl. They mix really well together. You got a bit of sweetness. You got a bit of classics.
2 of your cereals have taste. Lucky Charms and Fruit Loops. Everything else has no taste.
Honey Nut Cheerios has taste.
Okay,
Lucky
fine.
Charms has taste.
I said Lucky Charms. Okay, I'll add Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yeah, Raisin Bran. Think about all that sugar on those raisins.
Rice Krispies.
Now, if you take the raisin, if you get to the bottom of
awful team,
you have an awful
dude. You have an awful team.
You get to the bottom of Raisin Bran, and
you have
no raisins left. It's bran flakes, and that's bad.
You have a terrible team.
No,
it's actually.
I got a very solid team. You got a couple big scores, and you guys that just fill their role, do their job. You're gonna have locker room cancers all over the place.
Stop. Okay, we'll wrap things up soon.
Okay,
but
I want to support fans.
No. I just want to say, like, I look at my team, I feel like I got the first 9 picks, and then you picked 9 after me, and you got stuck with like Raisin Bran and Special K with berries. It's
you need to understand our whole audience is not 21 and under, right? Like, we've got fans out there that are over the age of 21.
That's why I have a life.
You forget about the baby boomers and the Gen Xers. They're big fans of the show.
Okay, this is unbelievable. Your team is awful. I'll actually make this graphic and post it.
Thanks for the fans. We appreciate your support. I need to give a shout out to Urban Paul, turning 50 years old. One of our big fans from the 6. Thanks, Urban Paul. Thanks, fans. We appreciate you. We love you. Peace out.